friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin, and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me because today we are talking my September TBR. It's fall. Wow, I love fall. It's probably my favorite season, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, I'm excited to get some fall reading, get the vibes going. Yeah, all the things. We all love fall over here on the book side of YouTube. And this month, I decided to use a spinner wheel to help me choose my TBR. I hadn't done this in a while, and I love a good spinner wheel, So I figured why not start off fall with the spinner wheel. For this one, I threw some fall related prompts on a wheel and we're going to spin it and see what I'm going to be picking up for the month of September. First prompt, we got black cover, and for that, I will be choosing Wishful Thinking by Celestine Martin. And this is kind of like a fantasy romance type situation, and we're following Lucinda, who loves living in Freya Grove, the mystic seaside town where charms, hexes, and magical beings of all kinds are the norm. She spends her days teaching high school history and her nights reading tea leaves and tending to her conjure garden. It's a good life, but she can't stop wishing for more until one night that wish turns into a spell, and suddenly Lucy can't say no, not to a public karaoke performance, not to running a 10K, and most alarmingly, not to her high school crush Alexander Dwyer, who needs her help unjinxing his new house, which just happens to be right across the street from hers. This sounds like it's going to be a cute, fun, cozy time. I love a witchy story. I love romance. This feels like a combination of all the things. And yeah, I think it's the perfect time to get into this one. Our next prompt is a bookish book, one of my favorite things in the whole world. And for that, I'm going to choose a new release. I think this came out last month in August, and that is The Rewrite by Lizzie Damalola Blackburn. I think that's how it goes. And this is actually like a really shorty one. Timmy and Wale meet in London. They flirt, date, and meet each other's friends. Then they break up, and Wale goes on a reality dating show. Instead of giving in to heartbreak, Timmy throws herself into her dream, writing. She's within touching distance of a book deal that would solve all her problems. But publishers keep passing on her novel, and bills still have to be paid. So when the opportunity to ghostwrite a celebrity memoir arises, Timmy accepts. And of course, the celebrity turns out to be Wale. Will Timmy and Wale repeat the patterns of their past, or can they write a whole new story? And look, I love Miss. I'm a little nervous because I think this is like second chance. I don't know. But I'm excited to give this a shot, and looks like it may be good to me. You never know. Next up, we have a book where the main character has a cozy job. And look, I love this prompt. I am happy that I thought about this prompt and that it actually, happened for me this time. So for this, I'm going to choose Where There's Smoke by Erica Alexander. Everyone knows Phoenix Fee Preston as the gorgeous, gentle giant, always ready to help in any way she can with a smile on her face. Ever since she was younger, she has always looked up to her grandfather, the town's fire chief. She admired him and respected him, having been raised by him from the age of 6. So it's only natural that when she turned 18, she followed in his footsteps, becoming the first and only female firefighter in the small town of Tucker, Louisiana. When her grandfather passed away suddenly, she left town because it was hard being there when he wasn't. It isn't until a year later that she finally returns, and as if the universe was gifting her for her returning, she runs into a beautiful woman who immediately captures her heart, not only with her beauty, but with a slice of strawberry shortcake. However, the moment is short lived, and the woman disappears from her life, leaving only the taste of the sweet dessert and her name behind. A year later, that mysteriously intriguing woman permanently moves to town to take over her late grandmother's bakery. Angel Savoy has spent a great deal of her adult life avoiding small towns because of the bad memories she had involving her parents' death, but now she has no choice but to move to one. To her surprise, the town quickly grows on her, and she can see herself putting down roots in Tucker, especially after she reconnects with a certain very attractive female firefighter who stops at nothing to make her smile. And look, sign me up. Sign me up. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Of course we get this. Of course we get spooky. Because look, I'm scary, so I can't put a fully scary book on this because I'm scared. So I have to read spooky books. And you know, yeah. So I don't even know if this one is actually going to be spooky or not. But we're gonna roll with it because this is mine and I do what I want. And so for this prompt, I will be choosing For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I'm not even gonna tell you how long this book has been sitting on my shelves. I'm not even gonna tell you because you don't need to know all that information. And this is a kind of a dark academia situation where we're following Teddy Crutcher, who has won Teacher of the Year at the elite Belmont Academy, home to the best and brightest. He says his wife couldn't be more proud, though no one has seen her in a while. Said he can't really be bothered with a few mysterious deaths on campus that are looking more and more like murder, or with the student digging a little too deep into Teddy's personal life. His main focus is pushing these students to their full academic potential. All he wants is for his colleagues and the endlessly meddlesome parents to stay out of his way. If not, well, they'll get what they deserve. Too bad that sometimes excellence comes at a high cost. That's spooky, right? It will be for this. And the wheel wants to be funny. It wants to be funny. So, a book that I've been scared to read. Mm. And I'm acting like I didn't put these prompts on the wheel. I did this to myself. Okay. So the reason why I'm picking this book is because it's different from what I usually read, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it or if it's gonna be too much for me. But I've heard good things. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I want to give it a shot. And that book is Serpentine Valentine by Gianna Darling. And this is a sapphic dark academia Medusa retelling about a woman who was wronged by her idols and refused to pay the price without getting revenge. All right. Now this says, I was born a woman, raised by women, in love with women, until I enrolled at Acheron University. I had never known much of men. I certainly didn't know enough to fear them. Then one stormy autumnal night, Professor Morgan tried to destroy me. And when we were discovered by the university president, it was me who was punished for the unwanted seduction. But they left me with two valuable lessons. I would never let another woman be hurt by men again if I could help it, period. And when someone hurts you, betrays you, and tries to rip out your soul, there is only one remedy for the pain: revenge. And mine takes the form of the president's very beautiful, very virginal, very straight daughter, Luna. Before the end of term, I'll destroy her innocence, just as her mother and Professor Morgan destroyed me. Period. Do what you gotta do, sis. So yeah, this is different for me, but I still want to give it a shot and see what I think. And now feels like a good time. So we'll see. The next spin gave us a dark academia book, even though I just gave you two dark academia books for the last two prompts. It's fine. It's fine. I am going to pick An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. And look, I know that people maybe liked this at best, but I want to see. I want to see because I did not care for A Diary of Blood, and I know that it's like beloved in the book community. And I liked Evocation, which is hit or miss for people. So, I'm kind of on the unpopular side for S.T. Gibson, and so I want to see what I think because it sounds really good, so I'm kind of hopeful. I like S.T. Gibson's writing. Deep in the forgotten hills of Massachusetts stands St. Perpetua's Women's College. Isolated and ancient, it is not a place for timid girls. Here, secrets are currency, ambition is lifeblood, and strange ceremonies welcome students into the fold. On our first day of class, Laura Sheridan is thrust into an intense academic rivalry with the beautiful and enigmatic Carmilla. Together, they are drawn into the confidence of their demanding poetry professor, De La Fontaine, who holds her own dark obsession with Carmilla. But as their rivalry blossoms into something far more delicious, Laura must confront her own strange hungers. Tangled in a sinister game of politics, bloodthirsty professors, and magic, Laura and Carmilla must decide how much they are willing to sacrifice in their ruthless pursuit of knowledge. Yeah. The next spin brought us a book with an animal on the cover, and for this, I'm going to be carrying over a book from August that I did not get to, but I am very desperate to read, and that is A Mastery of Monsters by Lucille Stanberry. This is her newest fantasy series, and we are following August. And when August's brother disappears before his sophomore semester, everyone thinks that the stress of college got to him. But August knows that Jules would never have left her voluntarily, especially not after their mother so recently went missing. The only clue that he left behind was a note telling her to stay safe and protect their remaining family. And after August is attacked by a 10-foot tall creature with fur and claws, she realizes that her brother might be in more danger than she could have imagined. Unfortunately for August, the only person with a connection to the mysterious creature is the bookish Virgil Hawthorne, and he knows about them because he is one. If he doesn't find a partner to help control his true nature, he'll lose his humanity and become a mindless beast, exactly what the secret society he's grown up in would love to put down. Virgil makes a proposition. August will join his society and partner with him, and in return, he'll help her find Jules. And so August is plunged into a deadly competition to win one of the few coveted candidate spots, all while trying to accept a frightening reality that monsters are real and she needs to learn to master them to have any hope of saving her brother. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're coming heavy with the dark academia books for September, but I just think that's the perfect time to read them. Like, September gives school, it gives academy, it gives creepy school academy, and that's what I feel like reading. So, I'm very excited about this because the will gave us vampires, and I am always, always, always ready to read about some vampires every day, all day. And so, this book you probably have seen a few times, you know? Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that because September is the month that I'm going to read this book. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that book is Where Shadows Meet by Patrice Caldwell. Once long ago, a girl named Favor sacrificed her wings for love. Thana, the young goddess she so willingly gave them up for, sacrificed that same love for power. But everything has a price. Favor never got over the loss of her wings, and Thana's choices led to a life of eternal night and later their destruction. Favor has bided her far, far, far favor. I don't know which one it is. I need to look that up. She has bided her time ever since, waiting for the chance to resurrect the girl. Ooh, that scared me. She loves, who turned her into the creature she hates. Now, 1,000 years later, Layla, the crown prince of a vampire nation, must travel to Necros, the island of the dead, when her best friend is captured during an attack on her nation's capital. But nothing is as it seems. The closer she gets to rescuing her best friend, the more she risks awakening an ancient evil and destroying everything she holds dear. Set in the aftermath of a war between vampires, humans, and the gods that created them, Patrice Caldwell's devastatingly romantic fantasy debut, Where Shadows Meet, centers the heart wrenching pain of loss and the struggle of self discovery to ask, do we choose our fates or do our fates choose us? I don't know. I'm going to find out though. Okay, nature on the cover. I feel like I am stretching this prompt a little bit, but technically it works. And that's all that matters. And so for the prompt, I'm choosing How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. This you have seen. This was on my last year's fall TBR, and I didn't read it. And I just feel like this needs to be read in fall, so I didn't touch it again until now. So in this, we have two different timelines. And in 16 no in 1965, we're following a teenage Frances Adams at an English country fair with her two best friends. But Frances's life takes a hairpin turn when a fortune teller makes a bone chilling prediction. One day, Frances will be murdered. Frances spends a lifetime trying to solve a crime that hasn't happened yet, compiling dirt on every person who crosses her path in an effort to prevent her own demise. For decades, no one takes Frances seriously until that is nearly 60 years later when Frances is found murdered. In the present day, Annie Adams has been summoned to a meeting at the sprawling country estate of her wealthy and reclusive great aunt Frances. But by the time Annie arrives in the quaint English village of Castle Knoll, Frances is already dead. Annie is determined to catch the killer, but thanks to Frances's lifelong habit of digging up secrets, it seems every endearing and eccentric villager might just have a motive for her murder. Can Annie safely unravel the dark mystery at the heart of Castle Knoll, or will dredging up the past throw her into the path of a killer? As Annie gets closer to the truth and closer to danger, she starts to fear she might inherit her great aunt's fate instead of her fortune. Sounds like a fun time. Not too scary, but spooky, you know? So this next prompt couldn't have been easier for me to pick a book for. So for an orange cover, I'm going to slot in Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola because I was reading this book regardless. As soon as it hit my mailbox, it was going to happen, and it's coming out this month. So this is a follow up to Honey and Spice. And we all know about Honey and Spice. If you don't, I just reread it in August as like rereading one of my favorites. But anyway, this is following Kiki and Kai 3 years after their breakup, where Kiki has worked hard to forget her first love. But just as she thinks she's gotten her life under control, jumping into the distractions of her romance by calendar invite boyfriend and plans for her best friend Amina's wedding, Kiki's career implodes. The family business teeters on collapse, and Malachi returns as Malachi takes up his role as best man opposite her maid of honor. Suddenly, Kiki can think of nothing but their simmering chemistry, what went wrong, and why it is now impossible to act normal around each other. Juggling a new job, the prospect of her parents' restaurant being sold, and keeping her best friend from going full bridezilla, dealing with the ex is the last thing she needs. But somehow the spark between them is only getting hotter and threatening to ruin everything. I need Kiki and Kai to get together and be together forever. So yeah, I'm there. I'm there for sure. The next spin gave us Cozy Fantasy, which I absolutely love and feel like it's perfect time for. So I am going to reach for a book that I feel like I should have read by now, and I don't really know why I haven't picked it up. But yeah, here we are, and that is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. And in this, we are following Keela, who has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she and her assistant Cass, a magically sentient spider plant, have spent the last decade sequestered among the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving their energy for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Cass flee with all of the spellbooks they can carry and head to a remote island Keela never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, Keela discovers, much to her dismay, a nosy and very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint and keeps showing up day after day to make sure she's fed and to help her fix up her new home. In need of income, Keela identifies something that even the bakery in town doesn't have: jam. With the help of an old recipe book her parents left her and a bit of illegal magic, her cottage garden is soon covered in ripe berries. But magic can do more than make life a little sweeter, so Keela risks the consequences of using unsanctioned spells and opens the island's first ever and much needed secret spell shop. Like a Hallmark rom com full of mythical creatures and fueled by cinnamon rolls and magic, the spell shop will heal your heart and feed your soul. And I just am obsessed with this cover. I always have been. This sounds super cute, and I'm excited to finally give it a shot. And lastly, the wheel decided to make a sweet and mystery thriller. I don't pick these up often throughout the year, but I feel like in the fall I usually reach for a couple, just to dabble in. I feel like that's usually when I reach for them. So for this, I'm going to choose The Compound by Ainsley Raleigh. I think that's how you say her name. But yeah, as soon as I heard about this, and I was like, I need to read it. So if I don't read it now, I probably would wait until next year. So I'm going to try to squeeze it in. And this is following Lily, a bored, beautiful 20 something who wakes up on a remote desert compound along with 19 other contestants on a popular reality TV show. To win, she must outlast her housemates while competing in challenges for luxury rewards such as champagne and lipstick, and communal necessities to outfit their new home like food, appliances, and a front door. The cameras are catching all of her angles, good and bad, but Lily has no desire to leave. Why would she when the world outside is falling apart? As the competition intensifies, intimacy between the players deepens, and it becomes increasingly difficult to distinguish between desire and desperation. When the producers raise the stakes, forcing contestants into upsetting, even dangerous situations, the line between playing the game and surviving it begins to blur. If Olivia makes it to the end, she'll receive prizes beyond her wildest dreams. But what will she have to do to win? But this is comped as Love Island meets Lord of the Flies, and say less, say less. Okay, I had to answer the phone, so ain't gonna change. But anyway, I was saying that I have been doing not so great on my 2025 priority TBR. And so I wanted to make sure that these last couple of months of the year I am making, good progress in that list because I do want to read those books. And so I decided I'm going to put them on a spinner wheel. And whenever I do TBRs, I'm going to spin for however many I feel like I want to read that month. And so that is what you're about to see. So, as you saw, the wheel decided to choose The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This has been on my TBR. The hair. Whoops. This has been on my TBR for a long time. Too long. And I think I'm going to really enjoy this. And I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I think I might be just a little intimidated by it because it's sci-fi. But I'm going to try it this month. I'm going to try it and we're going to see what happens. So hopefully I really enjoy this. It says, when Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The patched up ship has seen better days, but it offers her everything she could possibly want: a spot to call home, a chance to explore the far off corners of the galaxy, and some distance from her past. And nothing could be further from what she's known than the crew of the Wayfarer. From Sissix, the exotic reptilian pilot, to Kizzy and Jinx, the chatty engineers who keep the ship running, to the noble Captain Ashby, life aboard is chaotic and crazy, exactly what Rosemary wants. That is, and to the crew it's offered the job of a lifetime, tunneling wormholes through space to a distant planet. Sure, they'll earn enough money to live comfortably for years, but risking her life isn't part of the job description. The journey through the galaxy is full of excitement, adventure, and mishaps for the Wayfarer team. And along the way, Rosemary comes to realize that a crew is a family, and that family isn't necessarily the worst thing in the universe, as long as you actually like them. It sounds super cute, and I'm hoping it's a winner for me. And friends, with all of that being said, we have reached the end of this video. If you are still here, thank you for sticking with me. So thank you for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, anything that you do to support me and my channel. It is very much greatly appreciated. I hope that you have the best day that you possibly can, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.